All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're just a few days away from Turkey Day. Welcome to AIWF Mid-Atlantic. Well, no, this isn't Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. This is Ringside Wrestling. But we do cover the Mid-Atlantic. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined tonight by Brian Danzig and Smilin Diamond Dave. Gentlemen, how are you tonight? Ugh.
Good.
I'm getting tongue-tied early. This may be a long show.
Oh, just getting out of the way.
Yeah, get the fumbles out of the way, right? It's been a crazy weekend. You Smiling Diamond Dave, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Matt. How are you and Brian doing tonight?
Very well, very well. If you'll notice in the background, I've added a classic AIWF poster. I don't know what year that would be, Brian, but it was at Trinity High School, Friday, May 20th, and the main event was an Indian strap match, Wahoo McDaniel against Helmut Hessler. And Chucky Baby wrestled Rick Deezel on that card as well. So I'm thinking 95, 96, maybe 94, somewhere around in there.
Yeah, probably I would say 94, maybe early 95. Jammer versus Daniel Lee, back when Daniel went when he first started, went by Daniel Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was pretty early on.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, I might take a close-up picture of that and add it to our Instagram and see if anybody can identify it. But gentlemen, we've got a lot to get to tonight, so I'm going to jump right into the slideshow. And let me see here. Let me go to the old share screen. And I'm hoping Rick Deezel can make it on here tonight and share some more classic footage with us if possible. But anyway, so let me get the slideshow going here. Can you guys see the slideshow?
Yes.
All right. So
yes.
Let's get it going right now. As you may know, if you've been on the Mid-Atlantic Facebook page, scheduled to join us later tonight, AIWF Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion JAC and the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Champion Clara will be coming in here at some point, I assume whenever they get ready. And there's going to be some interesting conversation going on there. I know we talked a lot about them last week, and I know you gentlemen both have some things you'd like to address with these two.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I could always address something with Jack.
Well, you'll get your chances. He'll be here later, hopefully. Okay, real quick, just to remind you, our advertising rates are real cheap for this program, and we will demonstrate the here and the why and the how of all that. But for $10 a month, you can get a 30-second to 1 minute read on this program. You can do it for $6 a week. But if you need us to produce you a video commercial, we can do that. Only $30 a month. Just reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com. And of course, we'll get you some plugs in on the Instagram account as well. There it is. All the formats that we're on: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you find your favorite podcasts. And of course, the Roku channel, just reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com. That's AIWF20@hotmail.com. You can find us on Instagram. And if you just search AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, that's the one that I run and post some wrestling videos and photos up there. If we're not doing much, if you don't see much activity on there, I don't report something that's not there to report. So, but we do, we have had a lot of followers on the Instagram page. It's been way more successful than I ever imagined it would be. So thank you. And of course, you can see some cool videos at Deezel 24/7 as well. All right, gentlemen, it's now time for what I'm hoping will become a very much a reoccurring segment on this show, and something that I think all the viewers and the listeners out there will enjoy. It's called People Doing Stupid Shit and Getting Hurt on the Internet. So, so I'm hoping you guys will get a kick out of this. I have ran across this particular video. Twitter is a gold mine for this kind of stuff. So I'm hoping it doesn't go away. But
no, there's always going to be stupid people doing stupid things, and it's definitely going to get caught on the internet.
Yeah. Yep. So, but anyway, this was tweeted out by Rip Rogers, the famed wrestler and trainer, trained a lot of people in WCW back in the old days. And it had the caption just like this: "We are," just the letter R, well trained. That's all it said. We are well trained. So I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but you have a wrestling match taking place in what looks like a bingo hall, and not even a nice one, like the ECW arena. But anyway, a guy attempts a shooting star press, and it goes horribly wrong. So let's take a look at the piece of business right here. Let me find it right here, and I'm gonna go full screen. It's pretty quick, but we'll watch it a few times and then we'll mute it and discuss it. All right, so here we go. One more time. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
I believe he ought to take the prize for that stupid shit on the internet. I think he ought to take the prize.
Well, you know, that's why I featured it, because it was it's rough.
and again, like we've said, there are trained professionals who sometimes mess up a move and get hurt. But this is simply a flaw of technique. His foot didn't slip. He just jumped straight up into the air. And where are you going to land if you jump straight up into the air? You're going to land straight down. He did not propel himself in the least to get onto the mat. And I'm surprised. I mean, he's very lucky that he cleared the pole. Well, I don't know that he cleared it. He didn't clear it completely, but he didn't.
Let's see.
Hit it with his body.
Let me see if I can time it right. Looks like he caught ring post to balls and turnbuckle to chest right there to me.
Right. But yeah, he's lucky that his head was in the clear. But yeah,
that's the only part of him that missed anything, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because look, he smashes his legs and knees up going down. Well, no, his head looks like it hit the apron when he goes down. Look, watch. Bang. Yep.
And again, and you know, another reason I know that he didn't know what he was doing was, if I'm not mistaken, right before he jumped, he said, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
Like, that means he's like, to me, that says, I've never done this move before, but here, let me just give it a try.
Yeah.
That's what that says to me.
I bet you he won't try it again.
No.
Well, I would hope not. And if he does, there's high flying moves are they can pay off very well if you execute them the right way. But again, like we said, there are experienced high flyers who have practiced those moves over and over again, that the rope is a little slipperier than normal. It's the tape isn't on as tightly as it should be. The ropes are looser than they're used to. And you can get hurt knowing what you're doing, but he obviously, again, it's another one of those cases where he obviously didn't know what he was doing.
No,
because that's something I was worried about. Because sometimes you can see somebody mess something up, but you're like, well, they know what they're doing. It just didn't work out. But that was obviously somebody who, again, had never attempted that move before and tried it in the middle of a match, and that is just absolutely ridiculous. You do not do that.
Yeah. So, well, people that you see a lot of talk on social media about pro wrestling being for everyone. No, it's not. It is a skill that takes talent and athletic ability to achieve. That's why my fat ass sits at ringside behind her microphone and has for years.
Well, and again, there are styles of professional wrestling. There are really big guys who don't fly, who their feet stay planted on the ground, and that's their style. Is they're slow and they're strong. So you can there's, like I said, there's all different types of styles, but yeah, you have to, you can't just look the part and think that means you can do it.
Mhm.
And you need to, and also you have to think about this kind of thing to where, let's say you hit that shooting star press.
Mhm.
The crowd the crowd there will be impressed. They'll probably cheer. You might get on the highlight reel of that promotion, but you're not going to Impact, AEW, the NWA. They're not going to be calling you the next day. Oh, we saw that shooting star press. Let's sign you up for a 5-year contract right now. It's not going to happen. There's guys out there who do shooting star presses all the time and hit them perfectly.
Yeah.
So don't think that you're just going to jump up there and give it a try and the accolades are just going to start pouring in. And you're risking. It's like now you're a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Now everybody's sharing this video of this dumbass who didn't know what he was doing.
Yep.
And you're going to have to work really hard to negate that reputation now.
Yep. So unfortunately, we do not know this person's name, or we would tell everybody. But it's probably better for him. You saw the crowd that he was wrestling in front of, a good 20 people, I would say. And so even if he'd hit that shooting star press, if he's getting $20 for that match, he's going to be lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another thing.
It goes back in your early days when you was growing up. They give you math problems, and they show like a rock on a board, and if you jumped on it, you would fail. You would predict where that rock would land. As it shot over. And common sense would tell you when you're standing on the top rope, you've never done a move, you say, okay, I've got to land over there. That's where my opponent is in the middle of the ring. And jumping straight up, it's not going to get you there.
Mm-hmm.
Common sense. And by the looks of that, he lacked a whole lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I've got to announce it. They have arrived. Clara, I see Clara has entered the waiting room. We're going to allow her to come in. And there they are, AIWF Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion JAC, along with Clara, who appeared kind of sideways.
You're sideways.
He's sideways.
I'm always sideways. I have no idea what's going on here. All of us are straight up and down, and Clara and JAC are sideways. There we go. All right, now we're cooking with gas. Good evening, champs. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And we just finished up our segment, people doing stupid shit and getting hurt on the internet. I don't know if you were able to see that. Gentleman attempted a shooting star press that I obviously had not ever tried that move before, or probably was a lack of any quality proper training. His balls hit the ring post, his chest hit the top turnbuckle, and his head hit the apron when he crashed to the floor. Your thoughts on untrained dumbasses in professional wrestling these days? Because it seems to be a bigger problem than it used to be.
I have an issue when you're not I think you should get your A-OK from your trainer before you ever step foot in a ring. A lot of guys come 1 or 2 training sessions and be like, okay, I can go do a wrestling match. No, you can't. First off, you should be proud of the quality of the work that you're fixing to present in front of people. And you want to win a match. So I don't understand people that do it 1 or 2 times. Oh, I can go kick this ass. You're not gonna kick my ass. So what do you expect? And plus, if you want to please people for whatever the hell reason, some guys like to do that. I don't. But you want to have these 5-star classic matches. You're not going to do that 1 or 2 matches. There's no way. So it's just it's stupid. You get hurt. The dude that got hurt. What was that guy that got hurt the other week doing that charity show? The bum that paralyzed.
Mike Emerson. Although we did find out that he did not have a broken neck. I don't know how, but he landed right on his head.
Unfortunate, but
sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean,
You certainly do.
And so anyway, Jack and Clara, we've got a lot we're going to cover here tonight. And certainly want your thoughts on. We've got some comments coming up here in just a little bit from Executive Vice President of the network, Kevin Phoenix. And we're going to talk about that. But real quick, let me pay some bills right quick. Premier Auto Detailing is our newest sponsor here on Ringside Wrestling. We're so glad to have them. They can make that old jalopy look like it just rolled off the showroom floor. All you need to do is give them a call. Oh, and they operate in the Mount Airy area. So if you're in the Mount Airy area, Surrey County of North Carolina, call 336-883-5722 for more information. That's 336-883-5722 for those of you listening on podcast. I'm going to give it to you one more time. 336-883-5722. Also, great sponsor of the show, Tees Creations Custom Apparel. And buddy, they have got a new holiday lineup that is here. Check it out. That you can actually get that cow with glasses. And I know you people listening on podcasts are probably getting pissed off at me again about doing this, describing what's on the screen, but you can actually get a t-shirt printed of a cow wearing giant oversized glasses and a Santa hat, which is something, those of us who live in the country see every day, or any of these other designs. But there's really, this is as much as I could squeeze onto one slide. You really need to go to teescreations22.com or facebook.com/teescreations. You will not believe how affordable these screen prints are. They are unbelievably cheap. I don't think I've ever seen anybody offering deals like this on custom made t-shirts. Teescreations22.com.
Punch you in the face too.
Excuse me, go say that again.
That she'll punch you in the face too. That's free. She loves to do that.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get to that. Teescreations22.com or facebook.com/teescreations. And we thank them so much for sponsoring this show. Be sure you visit that website. All right. And before anybody says anything about this picture, I got it off his Wikipedia page. So I just did a Google search, and he's the son, or claimed to be the son of Rob McBride. So, but Kevin Phoenix has a special announcement, and we're going to see if we can't get that pulled up real quick here. Get out of this thing. Live to tape, everybody. So let's take a look and listen, and then we will break down these comments. They were on the Mid-Atlantic Facebook page earlier today, but we want to play them for you guys that haven't seen them. And it's very interesting. So let's take a look and listen to Kevin Phoenix right now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:02, November 20th. I just got home in Las Vegas, Nevada, after filming several episodes of The Righteous Gemstones on HBO. And I get here and my voicemails are filled up. I get here and my emails are filled. And it's saying, the Fighter Club has done it again. The Fighters Club has put their hands on Ty Tyson's daughter again. The Fighters Club is getting into fights with fans. I had a fan punch one of the Fighters Clubs in the parking lot November 12th. Dave, Commissioner, Smilin, Diamond Dave, all this happened under your control, under your watch. I'm gone one day, Dave, one day. And you have ruined the AIWF Mid-Atlantic. So, Dave, this is what's going to happen. I am going to make a match. December 31st. I'm not throwing out a challenge. I am making this match happen. And Dave, I want you to find someone in the AIWF Mid-Atlantic locker room that will represent you in a match, because you are retired. You are a Hall of Famer. You don't wrestle anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find me someone in the AIWF Mid-Atlantic maybe even beyond the Mid-Atlantic to represent me. And what these two people are going to represent, Dave, if you win, you will have complete control of the AIWF Mid-Atlantic. I will walk away. I will leave the Mid-Atlantic. I will do my networking job from home, and I will allow you to do what you have to do. But if my representative wins, Dave, you will no longer be allowed to run the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling will be run by me, the executive producer of the AIWF Network. So, set it down, write it in your calendars, fans. Go ahead and get the tickets when they go on sale. The main event is set. A representative of Dave, a representative of Phoenix will meet head to head for the future of the AIWF Mid-Atlantic, December 31st at Seasons Beatings. You take that to the bank.
There you have it. Smiling Diamond Dave. That's a pretty stiff challenge put out by Kevin Phoenix.
Well, you know, Matt, number one, you know, Kevin Phoenix needs to watch who he runs his mouth to, because a lot of people can't keep their mouth shut. I expected something like this to happen for a while. I just didn't know when from the rumors. This stems back to when me and Kevin Phoenix was co-commissioners. And the AIWF Mid-Atlantic board directors and stuff, they finally seen it my way that Kevin Phoenix, number one, was never there. He couldn't even do the job that he was hired to do as executive producer and getting things on ROKU and the channels for the fans to see. You know, if he showed up, he was about half drunk. So he's tried this once and it didn't work. So Kevin Phoenix, it's no big deal, buddy. Go ahead and pack your bags. You can stay in Las Vegas and film your little cartoons or whatever you're doing. It's no sweat off of my behind. I'll be nice. But Kevin, you've tried this before. And, you know, I think the Fighters Club knows where I stand.
Dave, I think you put the champ to sleep.
Well,
You're snoring over there.
Jack knows I'm not afraid to get in his face and tell him what I think of him. Jack knows he don't intimidate me. So Kevin Phoenix, let's get this understood. You didn't intimidate me then. You don't intimidate me now. You need to talk to Jack. And y'all need to get your ducks in a row and realize that you can't overcome.
All right. So this is interesting. I'm glad we got you here, Jack, because there was a lot of talk last week about.
Let's just bro, you every time it's like the same old thing. I heard this, I heard that, I heard this, I heard that. God, you can put me to sleep sometimes. I want you to do me a favor. There's these things called ASMR sleep things you can find online. Start making videos, Dave. Just make the videos. You'll be the most watched guys ever. Because every time you talk, I want to get in my bed and fall right to sleep. It's just like, come on, man. This is
Jack, answer me this. Since you're wide awake, answer me this question.
What?
November the 12th, you wasn't ready to go to sleep, was you?
No, I won.
Well, you was pretty pissed, wasn't you, Jack? When I talked about you and your side piece sitting beside you, you was pretty pissed, wasn't you? You wasn't ready to go to sleep. Keep running that lip, Jack. I told you, I made you champion. Keep running that lip.
But guess what, Dave? it looks like that this coming up show, you ain't gonna have a job no more. You're jobless, and then you're gonna be homeless. And when you're on the streets and you're doing your little thumbs up, I'm gonna drive right by you, roll my little window down. I'm gonna throw every bit of the little bit of pennies and change I got in my car, and I'm gonna give you a thumbs up right back, you buddy. I cannot wait because you can't do your job. You can't do your job. Fans are punching us in the face, left and right. What? There's no security doing anything right now. You can't do your job. So somebody finally stepping up and doing something about it.
Yeah, I'll be first to criticize the Fighters Club when they use, unsavory tactics or whatever, but he's got a point. The champ has a point, Smilin Diamond Dave. There was virtually no security to protect them. We thought Dalen was suspended, but yet he was allowed to come out and referee the main event. I don't know how they got around that. It's like, it's a lot going on, and it's starting to slow.
Well, as far as that so-called referee that Jack's got in his back pocket, I think I took care of that problem at the last show. As long as I have anything to do with it, if it goes my way, Jackson never had to worry about him being in one of his matches or Clara's matches or David or Kayson's matches. He won't even be allowed in the building when they're in the ring. So
get this, if it goes me and Kevin Phoenix's way, you will never be allowed in the building again. You will be homeless, and I'll be the happiest person ever.
Jack, that's fine. I'm glad that to see you happy. I'm glad to see you smiling because, last show, it was everything but a smile on your face when I was standing nose to nose with you. But one thing, and I don't need no comments from the peanut gallery, and that includes you and your side piece sitting there. You and Kevin Phoenix need to stop and think. It's people like me that paved the road for you, that paved the road for Kevin Phoenix. Kevin Phoenix would have never went to Australia, New England,
Austria.
Yeah, that too. If it wasn't for me,
Y'all go ahead.
You'd never have that belt if it wasn't for me. So make all your comments. I think y'all are funny. Y'all all talk. Why didn't Kevin Phoenix show up and do this challenge face to face? That's because he's not man enough. He knows he's tried it before and it didn't work.
But here's what I understand about you, and then we can go on to whatever segment's next. What I don't understand about you, I had no problem with you. I wanted to be in the War Games match with you because I respect you. I've never said one bad comment about your old tail ever. I respect everything you've done in your career, and you know that. And so for you to go this, and that always about me and the rest of the Fighters Club, you tapped out at War Games. Me, David, and Kayson, we held hands. We stood together while you tapped out. It's not my fault you quit.
Who held your hand and David's hand to keep you off from tapping out? Who was that, Jack?
Me, David, and Kayson.
Put your hands up to keep you from tapping out.
Was it your hand doing this?
No. Who was it, Jack? Just admit it. You're supposed to be the man. You're the god of martial arts. You're the god of this. You're that. You're the man. Admit it, Jack. Who held your hand up to keep you from tapping out at War Games? Who was it? That's what I thought. Keep running that list.
All right. Look, let's get the women's champion in here and get her talking a little bit because she looks bored to death.
Well, if I sat beside Jack's, I'd be bored too.
Oh, okay. All right. So Clara, you've got a beef here. Walk us through this. This was after the thing with Smilin Diamond Dave, and you go over and have words with Rose Tyson, and things kind of went south from here. We're not going to play the audio. You can see that on YouTube if you'd like. You guys definitely having serious words here. And you face palmer and you walk away, but then she comes after you. What can you share with us? What can you tell us about this situation? I think this is what we're trying to point out, the lack of security, like Jack was saying earlier.
Well, I always hear Rose running her mouth every single time I'm out there. And she thinks that just because her daddy's Ty Tyson, no one's going to run their mouth back. No, I'm the champion. I'm not going to be affected by a child.
Yeah, and now there's some fans getting in there. Here's where it gets kind of interesting too. Not only is it Rose Tyson, but here comes Trista. Here comes Mama Bear. And yeah, I can kind of see where, and there's a I can kind of see your point, Jack. No, not kind of. I can really see your point about lack of security and people, you know, being allowed to. Yeah. And then oh my God, Rick Deezel has a dog with him.
Well, you know, Ginger's leaving, so.
Oh, is that the one that freaks out?
Yeah, that's the one Trista claims I stole from her, but I really didn't.
Okay, yeah, we shift gears pretty quick around here, guys. So, Brian Danzig, I hadn't heard your thoughts on any of this yet. We've got an interesting situation. Kevin Phoenix basically challenging Smilin Diamond Dave to it's basically a career versus career match, but they're going to select representatives to go into the ring with for them to represent them at season's meetings.
Yeah, I saw the video was posted earlier. I purposely didn't watch the video. I wanted to get I wanted to react to it fresh when I saw it on the show. And I mean, Kevin Phoenix, I don't know exactly what he's talking about in that Dave lost control of the event, that the Fighters Club is running rampant. Fighters Club has been running rampant pretty much day one. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Kevin Phoenix was there when on the first when Rose Tyson was pulled into the ring and put to sleep by JAC. So, you know, granted, no fans punched anybody, but you know, pretty much everything else, everything but that has happened also under his watch. So I don't know why he thinks his hands are completely clean and that things run smoothly and everybody is everything is all well in order when he's there, but then that Dave can't keep things under control. I mean, he can't keep things under control either. So it looks like a little bit of blame shifting to me.
Now be careful when you point fingers because you're going to have three pointed back at you. Now, you gentlemen, Dave, you kind of had your say with JAC and the Fighters Club. And I thought it was interesting that Brian Danzig, now I will say this, Rick Deezel has not made a comment, but Brian Danzig last week, you made some poignant comments about the tactics the Fighters Club uses, and which I think is kind of funny because Brian, you were never afraid to break any rules in your career. So now you got JAC and Clara right here. So, you know, right. You can address them.
I mean, I don't really have anything new to say, but except, you know, that they can respond in real time to me. It's like I told Rick Deezel, it's simply a matter of varying degrees. You know, I believe in when I wrestled, I believed in bending the rules, breaking the rules, blatantly breaking the rules. But at the same time, I wanted my opponent to at least have a chance. So
I'm glad he said that.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Go ahead.
And again, and another thing, I keep hearing, which to be fair, I haven't heard JAC say this in a few weeks, but I've heard both JAC and Clara complain about the lack of respect. And that's the thing about with Rick Deezel, when he said, because I'm somebody who did want respect, but Rick Deezel, he was somebody who said, I didn't care how, I just wanted to win. He's someone who never asked for respect from the fans or from the guys in the back. He was just like, I wanted to win. I don't care. I don't care how I win, as long as I win. But you can't say that and then complain that you don't get respect from the fans. You can have one or you can have the other. You just can't have both.
You can say everything, respect this, respect that, respect this. I personally don't give a crap anymore. I used to, but I don't give a crap anymore who respects me. Because at the end of the day, I'm the main event. I'm the money draw. I'm the reason people come to that little piss wink show. It's me. I put asses in seats since I got there. Because guess what? They understand that I'm going to be here not for a long time, but for a very short time before I move on to either WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Because let's face it, I'm the greatest thing to ever come out of North Carolina. And I can say that to Mr. Woo himself, because when this is all said and done, this chapter closes, Clara, JAC, Casey Kane, David Parrish, John Petty are going to be the greatest professional wrestlers to ever do it. I have no doubt in it. And I'm because I want you, and people forget this because I look older than I am. I'm 23 freaking years old. Okay. Clara is 20 years old and we are taking over the game. We've been in this business. I've been in the business now for almost a year and 3/4. She's been in the business for barely a year. Okay. And we're this good. What's going to happen in 5 years? What's going to happen in 10 years? So people need to smarten up just a little bit. You can say we cheat. You can say we do this and do that. You cheated in the past, so you're a hypocrite. Rick Deezel, God knows he cheated in the past, but he has our side because he knows what greatness really is deep down. Carter knows what greatness really is deep down. And that bum sitting over there in the corner giving us the little ASMR seminar, he knows who greatness is because this championship is around my waist and Clara's waist for a reason.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with all the gold that you got there. Plus, if you want to share this, I'm not going to press you on it, but would you like to share with the folks where you guys received the bulk of your training?
I trained out of the AML Pro Wrestling Training Center. I'm trained by Beer City Bruiser out of Ring of Honor. I am trained by TIM, the Infinite Man. I got trained there by him at AML as well. I've been trained by Josh Gary. I've been trained by LeBron Cozone. I've been trained by JB Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And trained by Dr. Tom Pritchard, and I am now trained by the Beer City Bruiser.
Yep. So that's the name I was looking for, Dr. Tom Pritchard, because that carries a lot of fucking weight with me. And so
yeah, me too.
That says a lot. So when they brag about their age, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason for that. The work ethic, and they've obviously gone to the effort to get trained properly, not like that asshole we saw land on the ring post earlier. So that has a lot to do with it. Did you see that, Rick Deezel, before you came on?
No, I didn't. But it's the same one we've been showing.
It's the guy that does the shooting star press and goes straight down onto the ring post and falls. He got Emerson. I remember. Yeah, he got Emerson. Oh Lord. That's why I say anytime somebody falls on their neck or their head now, I call it an Emerson. Oh my God. We might have to change the name of the segment then, from people doing stupid shit getting hurt on the internet to he got Emerson. But I don't know, man. Somebody might try to cut me sometime if I do that. So we might stick with the current situation. All right. So I'm kind of at a stopping point here. Gentlemen, you kind of said everything you wanted to say to the champ and to Clara.
Well, I have something to say.
Here we go. Reagan saves the day.
Hey, so I agree. They are very well trained. They're very, very good in the ring. But yet Clara has great talent, yet I haven't seen her win her own match yet. So, I mean, she can speak to that. Jack
Listen.
seems to step in every time to take on her female opponent and end her match for her. So, I mean, I've said that in the past. I've said that on here. I mean, she has great talent. I mean, I can see her going many, many places, but not if she's riding on the coattails of Jack winning her matches for her.
Go ahead, Clara, talk to us.
I want to tell you one thing. To win this AIWF Women's Championship, I beat Casey Fox, okay? The Jesus Christ of the Mid-Atlantic. I beat Casey Fox for this. For this FWE Women's Championship, I beat Rachel freaking Ellering. And in 2 weeks, guess who I'm defending it against? Camille Brickhouse. And I'm going in there by myself to wrestle the NWA Women's Champion. And I will win and prove that I belong at the top with the other greats and the other champions. Because I work my ass off every single day. I don't need them. They're just there to cheer me on because nobody else does.
See, there's that complaint again about nobody cheers me on. There's what Brian was saying. You either have it, you want the admiration of the fans or you don't. And you have to make the decision. Do you want to ride on the coattails of Jack winning your matches in the AIWF? Or do you want to stand out on your own and be the awesome wrestler that I know you are and can be? So that's just my, 2 cents about what I see in the AIWF.
I think I beat Jada Stone by myself.
Yeah, there was no, I don't think there was any interference in that match. I don't remember seeing it. It's on Instagram if you want to go see it.
Yeah, there was no physical interference. Thank you. Yeah, there was some a little bit of distraction and mind games, but again, that's par for the course. That's something that's more of a mistake on Jada Stone's part of allowing herself to be distracted by the people on the outside. But again, I mean, I would just like to see more of that. But again, it's your career. You do it the way you want. Again, my only complaint was, if you you can have it one way or the other. You can have the respect of the crowd or win at any cost.
Dr. Tom taught me one big thing. He said, once you win, you make sure you always win. And sometimes, I'm wrestling all over the place and I'm just tired. Sometimes I just want to go in there and I want to do the least work possible because I don't need to outshine anybody. I don't need to do a lot of work to beat these little girls. As you saw with Nurse Micah, I didn't do a lot in there.
And I do want to say one quick thing before y'all go on. Y'all say whatever you want about Clara or whatever. I want to say one thing, and that we can shoot the shit if we want to, as these stupid wrestlers want to call it. I'm real all the time. So I'm just going to be honest with you right now. Me and Clara wake up every single day during the week, every single day at 4:00 in the morning to go do our regular job. We work our regular job from 4:00 normally to 2:30, maybe 3, where we work at the same place. I'm not going to give that details because I don't want people coming to see me.
Don't dox yourself. Yeah, don't dox yourself.
Please don't.
Watch this. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is like our version of the Zapruder film right here. Watch this. This is the gnarliest kick I've seen in a while. Watch this. Watch Jack come from behind. Watch this. And watch Dalen's head snap back. Bam! It's like the Zapruder film back and to the left. Back to the left.
And to the left.
Yeah. So we may or may not see Dalen again after that kick because it was pretty damn hard. But go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
Okay. So we work till about 4 a.m. to 3 p.m. every single day religiously. Then to go to the gym every single day, be in the gym working out for 2 hours now. We've left our routine a little bit because I personally did not like the way I was looking. And then after that, we do wrestling training from about 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock just to get home, sometimes past 9, because sometimes, you keep going because you're wanting to be the best in the world. So you're going to have that. We don't get home till about 10 o'clock, 10:30. And then we got to eat our food. We gotta eat clean all day long. Eat our food the right way. But not a lot of wrestlers in North Carolina do, by the way. And then to go on to do all the social media that I do personally every single day religiously. I post on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook every single day. And I post a video on TikTok twice a day, which is a part of making my public image, because unfortunately people love me. Y'all can hate me all you want to. And those stupid, dumb fans that deep down at the bottom of their souls, I see the little text messages they send other wrestlers that get sent to me about how great I am. Because guess what? I am. And so we do all this work. And all I ever hear is, they do this. They don't deserve this respect for this. Damn right we deserve respect. We deserve more respect than anybody else on these roads right now, because they're not making the travels like we're making right now. They're not putting in the time. Sure, we've been in the business for as long as we have, and I'll give people credit. I respect everyone in this business, whether they love me, whether they hate me. I respect them because I love professional wrestling. But I know for a fact, nobody, not in WWE, not in AEW, not in New Japan right now, works harder than me and Clara does. And that's just facts. We sleep 4 hours every single day, and we never make one excuse about that, because we love professional wrestling. And I'm going to continue to love professional wrestling to the day I die. And I am the best right now 23-year-old on this planet. Clara is the best 20-year-old woman on this planet. And we're going to continue to prove it, and we're going to continue to get better.
No, I agree that Clara is one of the best women I've ever seen in AIWF. You'll never hear me say that that's not true. I'm just saying she's got to start making decisions on how she wants to win her matches. But she is the best female talent I've seen in AIWF probably in years. So I'm not digging her talent, never, or your talent. I'm just saying, thinking about how you win your matches. But no, she is the most talented female I've seen in AIWF in years.
Can I ask you something? Is it not a win's a win? Is a win not a win? Whether it's tainted or whatever the crap you want to call it. A win's a win. I'm in the business of winning and making money. Mm-hmm. I don't know what people come across of what wrestling's supposed to be, or this, and that. I've been cheating and doing the backhand since I was in my amateur wrestling days. I'd be here talking my shit. I would be eating their ear. I'd be eating their fingers. I do what I gotta do to win. Clara is the same way. She's been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since she was 8 years old. She is a shoot badass and a real badass, whether people want to like it or not. Both of us are combat sports athletes, and we have since we came out of the freaking womb. Or we came out of the womb, hands clenched and kicking ass. That's all we know how to do. A win's a win. Stop making it something that it's not. We're both double champions. So come on now, let's get real. Winning's winning. Guess what? Guess who makes the most money right now? Us, because we're the champ.
Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. You are the champ. You're both the champs. And I don't know. To me, a win just isn't a win on its own. And again, I could be wrong. And for me, the line cross is the referee in your back pocket. Yeah. And again, if because my thing is, if the ref doesn't see it, it didn't happen. If I can get away with what I'm doing in the ring without the ref seeing it, or I can push it as far as I can, get that 4.5 count before I get disqualified, that's part of winning. But when the referee is on my side, it's like, there's nothing impressive about a win when the referee is in your back pocket. That's my main issue. So if you want to cheat, if you want to bite, choke, gouge eyes,
hit somebody with a brick,
hit somebody with a chair, a
drop
brick
them on a chair that's on fire.
Drop them on a chair that's on fire, just as a random example.
One that comes to mind, yeah.
Right, yeah, just randomly,
yeah, you want to do all that stuff, fine. But when the referee isn't going to make that 3 count when your shoulders are on the mat, then to me, that's when it becomes not a win.
Thoughts?
Let me ask the question, if that's okay, Matt, then we can go and do whatever you.
Go right ahead. No.
Who is the greatest professional wrestler of all time, in your opinion?
Flair.
Did he not?
Yes, he did.
Did he not do what he had to do to win? And guess probably who is now has the most money of all time of being a professional wrestler? Flair. He's the GOAT. Besides the stuff when he got older, when he started losing money, but now he's doing really well. He's in rap videos, for God's sake, at his age, respected by everyone around him. And guess what? Did he ever really win a match fair? No. He
No.
Flair.
Again, he bent the rules. He broke the rules behind the ref's back, but the ref was never on his side.
Yeah.
Worked the game. He worked the system. But then when the system is on your side, then that's and again, if you're happy with that, if you're happy with your shoulders being on the mat for a 3 count, but the referee just simply doesn't slap the mat for the 3rd time, and you can stand up later and hold your belt up high when everybody in that building and everybody on the internet watching knows that it's not because you bent the rules, not because the ref didn't see what you did. It's because the ref saw it, saw your shoulders were down, and just stopped. Just 1, 2, I'm just not going to do it.
I kind of wonder and Dalen's with you guys, the Fighters Club, a lot. Like, what does he hope to gain in the end from all this? I mean, friendship, yes, an alliance with you guys, I suppose. If he's looking to be a referee moving forward, and these videos are really popular, just so everybody knows, the Clara Nurse Mika video on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube is the most popular video that we've ever posted there. All right. So a lot of people are seeing that. He's not, I don't think anybody's going to hire him to be a legit referee, which is a shame, because before you guys got in his pocket, or he got in your pocket, or however the pocket hole referee shit works, he's a good referee. We talked about that last week. He's very good at what he does. And I'm just wondering, maybe what's the end game with this?
I want you to what makes the world right now go around?
Money.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it helps.
Money talks. Dalen came to me when Dalen was in a very bad spot. I want you to know something about Dalen too. His confidence grew up so much. He has lost a tremendous amount of weight. He wanted to be better than he was. And guess what? In my opinion, Dalen right now is the best Dalen he's ever been. Dalen's a hard worker. And you can say he's not going to get booked other places. Dalen's booked every weekend. There's a reason he's not at AIWF every weekend. Because Dalen constantly is working everywhere. Dalen works just as hard as me and her does. Just as hard. Dalen's a hustler. He goes to all the shows. He travels freaking to Ohio. He'll travel up to Pennsylvania. He'll travel up to Tennessee. Dalen busts his tail each weekend in, weekend out. You can say he's corrupt, but guess what? He gets paid really well. Really well. Because guess what? We're the champs. We got the money to do it. Okay. Let me understand. This is about professional wrestling, okay? The person that gets the W gets paid more that night. The guy on the bottom that gets pinned does not.
Yeah.
So I'm whatever I have to do to make money and go home. That's why I have this, and that's why I have this. That's why she has this, and why she has that. That's what we care about. At the end of the day, that's what really matters to us. Legacy this or legacy that and all that other bullshit aside. We want money. Because I want my kids to be fed, and then my grandkids to be fed, and then my great-great-grandkids to be fed. That we will produce together.
Can't argue with that.
I have another question. I know that you have aspirations, and maybe even been in talks with AEW, WWE, like I said, New Japan. Very rarely, if any time, have I ever seen a faction be signed to a contract. Now, when WWE, AEW, New Japan gives you the call, are you going to leave the other members of the Fighters Club behind and go on and pursue your dreams? Or are you going to hold fast and say, no, this is my group, and if you're going to sign me, you have to bring us all along?
That is a hell of a good question, Brian.
Yes.
And if you didn't, I wouldn't blame you, and they shouldn't either. But I'm just curious.
Or are you going to be
Here's
like?
what's going on.
I was going to say, are you going to be like Randy Savage when he went to WWF and told Vince, "Hey, I need you to find a spot for my brother," and that was what sealed the deal. You know, I've seen it go both ways. So go ahead, Jack.
Here's what's going to happen. If I get signed, if Clara gets signed, David Parrish gets signed, Casey Kane gets signed, Don Petty gets signed, Dalen gets signed somewhere, I'm going to be happy regardless. We work hard for what we're doing. If they get signed, I will pat them on the back. If I get signed, they're going to pat me on the back and be full supportive. Look, this is a business. Right. Every Fighters Club understands this is a business. That's where all of us want to go. That's what we want. That's where the great money is.
Yeah, right. You want to do this for a living.
And also, even if not everybody gets in at the same time, if one of you gets your foot in the door, that's going to grease the wheels to get the other guys in. So,
exactly.
It's not necessarily a all or nothing situation. So yeah. Exactly. So again, I nothing, not disparaging that decision. Of course, like I said, it's very rare that an entire group of people get signed, and it would make perfect sense to whoever gets the deal go, and then maybe use your influence to try to get them in the door later on once you get some pull in the within the promotion.
Well, it's the same thing like how it was at AIWF. I got my foot in the door at AIWF before David did, and then David came along, and then Clara came along, Casey Kane came along. Don Petty had been there a little while, but then he joined us. Same thing with AML. Same thing with the other promotions. If I have to be the one to get the foot in the door, Clara has to be the one to get the foot in the door. If David, any of the members, has to be the one to get their foot in the door. We all support each other. We all love each other. We all want each and every single one of us to be as best as we possibly can be. But we're not going to hold the other one back.
Right.
If they don't want me, if they don't want Clara, if they don't want David, we're not going to be like, hey, the one person's not going to look at the other person and say, hey, brother, you got to pull me back, or you got to come back with me. That's not how we work. We never will work like that.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
All right, I got another question, but I need to pay some bills real quick. So everybody, just hang tight with me, and I'll read through these as promised to the people that paid for them. Let me see here. Current slide. Yes, sir. All right, and of course, another great sponsor we have here, Ringside Wrestling, is Bill Pauley, who's been sponsoring us for several months now and featuring places that can help out people with disabilities. The latest one, the way we've been wondering where Bill is, we hadn't seen him in a while. He says the reason he's sponsoring this is because he's disabled. He was told his whole life he couldn't do stuff. As a kid, his dream was to be in the wrestling business. He's achieved that now. He's starting over as a referee, and he wants to show his son that is also disabled and others who are disabled that they can live their dreams, whatever they may be. And we feature the ARC of North Carolina that helps people with disabilities. They offer all different kinds of services. Of course, you could donate to them as well. So if you're disabled, or you know somebody that's disabled and maybe needs some help, or just want to see what's available, just reach out on their website. It's arcnc.org. That's arcnc.org. Again, that's the ARC of North Carolina. They put people first. arcnc.org. And of course, Branch Management. They are our first sponsor. And they're our oldest child and our favorite. And no, I'm just kidding. We love all our sponsors equally. But they are a tree service that operates in the Mount Airy, Surrey County area of North Carolina. They can help you with branches that are maybe too close to structures, normal pruning, or complete tree removal. They offer very competitive rates and free estimates and are here to serve you. If you're interested in the tree service, you could be eligible for a $100 referral if you refer a friend. For the tree service, you can call either 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. That's for the tree service. Let me give you those again, just for the people listening on podcast. 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. Now, they also offer gutter cleaning, landscaping, and pressure washing. That's a different number, though. For those services, you want to call 336-648-2487. Again, that's 336-648-2487 for the landscaping, gutter cleaning, and general pressure washing service. Branch management, thank you so much for all your help. Tease Treats is a food truck that operates in Mount Airy. They now have pizza, delicious dogs, and decadent desserts. And I'm not kidding you on the decadent dessert part. They're available for any event, music festivals. What kind of event were they doing today, Rick Deezel?
Food truck festival in Mount Airy.
Food truck festival in Mount Airy. So if you'd like to find out more information or where they'll be, you can reach out to them at 336-755-8204. 336-755-8204. They're also on Facebook. And yeah, my wife got one of these deals that you see in the top left of your screen, the cheesecake on top of the funnel cake. Oh, good sakes, to die for, ladies and gentlemen. That's Tease Treats, the food truck in Mount Airy. Reach out to them, 336-755-8204. Jack, Clara, a point that Brian Danzig brought up last week that I think is worth repeating here. Factions always seem to, after a period of time, bad blood develops, bad feelings, people start whispering in each other's ear. Have you ever thought about maybe putting a contingency plan in place in case somebody in the Fighters Club was to go rogue?
I just don't see it happening. It could. I have plans if someone ever tries to be stupid. But like I don't see it happening. I don't know. Clara can speak her opinion about it, but because we're all equals, there's no leader. But yeah, I don't see it happening.
Oh, Reagan laughed there. Okay, and Brian gave a
I'm gonna shake my head. I'm gonna shake my head on that one.
Everybody knows who the leader of the Fighters Club is, and that's the man sitting on the couch right there. You can say that everyone is equals and that there isn't a leader, but I mean, and if that's how you make it work, that's fine. That's great. But everybody knows that you are the leader of the Fighters Club.
Hey, let me just say this, Jack, real quick. Let me just make this point. Jack was the last person in the Fighters Club to win gold here in AIWF Mid-Atlantic. So if he is the leader, he's leading by example and pushing his people, to greater things, which I think is a quality of any good leader. No, I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I'm just pointing out what's obvious. I mean, the tag team titles were procured and the women's championship was procured before he ever got the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. Right. So if he is a leader, he's a damn good one.
Right. However, he did win the most prestigious of the titles in AIWF Mid-Atlantic.
That he did.
And I pinned Ty Tyson to do so, which I'm gonna be honest with you, had to be the greatest feeling in the freaking world. I hate that dude so much. And everything that's happening to right now, I mean, he deserves it. It's kind of karma, ain't it? It puts a smile on my face. It really does.
Wow, yeah, and that's the thing with Rose Tyson. It's it's got a weird element to it, and that's for sure. Rick Deezel, you've been kind of quiet over there. What are you?
I'm playing with videos. Y'all go right ahead. I'm just doing my thing here.
I'll say, have you got any classic footage you want to share with us this week?
For some reason, I did have, and for some reason, it's. I don't know. It was playing, and then I had an issue with it. So I don't know. It could have been where I just run in real fast, and threw it all together. Who knows what I've done?
I love this show.
I'm working on it.
live to tape, ladies and gentlemen. You hear everything that happens. There is no post editing on this show for two reasons. I don't know how, and I don't have time. So, but anyway, so we, anybody got any more questions for the champs? They look bored to death, but that's okay.
Well, they've been working hard. I mean,
yeah, maybe they're just tired.
They're pretty tired. Yeah.
They do wrestle every weekend. I will give them credit for that. When Jack says that they're on the road every week, he's not blowing smoke. I watch their social media. I mean, they are all over the place. And, we see a lot. One of my criticisms of AEW is I don't think that their wrestlers, especially the young ones, get enough time in the ring, because it's not like the territory days. You get together once a week for TV, and that's it. And so to see people, because indie shows, a lot of times a particular promotion will run once a month. We try to run twice a month most times, but still there's 2 weekends out there most months that you can either be sitting on your ass or hitting the road, and credit where it's due. They hit the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, I want to say one thing. It's no secret that JAC and the Fighter Clubs no longer like me. They say what they want to about me, but I'm also the type of person, and I'm professional enough to say this with JAC and Clara sitting there listening. I give credit where credit's due. I've seen JAC, I've seen Clara, I've seen Dave Parrish, I've seen Casey. They work their butts off for what they've got. Seen them in the gym, seen them training, seen them traveling. And my hat's off to them for that, because things are a lot different today as they was back in the day, and you got to travel, and you're wrestling people that you know nothing about, that you've never seen. And my hat's off to them. I'm not trying to kiss ass. I'm just giving credit where credit's due. And Jax knows that I've always been up front with him. Good or bad, I've always been up front with him. And my hat's off for the both of them for as hard as they work and put into a sport that I love dearly. And they are very persistent of wanting to be better. So.
Well, that's a different tempo change than what we had going on earlier.
Well, I just, I sit and listen a lot, don't say a lot, but there comes a time that Matt, Brian, and Brian may know where I'm coming from. There comes a time that you give credit where credit's due, regardless to who it is to. I've had to eat crow more than once since 1984. Trust me. And I'm not eating crow here. I'm just giving facts. Because Jack.
The hell is that? Do y'all hear that?
They lace up their wrestling boots the same
It's
way.
me, I got it working.
It sounds like a bear growling or something in the
Oh,
background.
no, I don't know what that is then. That's
That
Dave.
was
Dave, are
my
you
brother.
outside? You in the woods? Is there a dog or wolf back there stalking you, or coyote or something?
Dave, you eat?
Oh, maybe it was my stomach growling. No, I'm not hungry.
My truck started. That might be what it was.
Yeah, but that's what it was.
And the world is completely different than when Brian and I and Dave and Rick worked,
Yep.
wrestled. There wasn't as many opportunities to go out and work at different places every weekend, especially for women. There wasn't as many places for a woman to work. And Claire's lucky that she gets to work so many places and gets to show off her talent at so many different places, because that wasn't the case just 15, 16 years ago, so it's a different world now. Brian and I spent every weekend working, but we spent every weekend working wrestling with AIWF. We'd go to Tennessee and South Carolina and places like that some, but there just wasn't as many opportunities then,
Mhm.
you know, and
Yeah.
and stuff. So I mean, I'm not dogging their ability or their heart or where they work or any of that. I'm just, you know, we are sound now it's starting to sound depressing and oh, never mind.
Hey,
Good
Matt,
Lord.
let me play a video.
Yeah. Let's
Let's
play.
play a video. Ray,
All right.
you might have to talk me through it again.
I'm gonna have to make you the host. Okay, so we'll do
Do I
basic.
have to walk you through it again?
Probably. I'm old.
All right. So I'm getting ready to make you the host. Here we go. All right. You have got the hosting duties now. Go ahead.
All right, so I can play this now.
Yeah, but
This kind of goes to something that Brian that we've been all talking about. Now, I admit that back in the day, Brian, he had the morals. He was always wanting the respect. Now, I didn't care. Everybody knows. I mean, I had my time.
And again, like I said last week, Rick keeps saying it's morals. It wasn't morals. It was more of ego. It was going in there having something to prove. And again, maybe that was my downfall. Maybe that's, you know, maybe I shouldn't have cared so much about gaining the respect.
It definitely wasn't morals.
No, it certainly wasn't morals.
What you got for us, Rick Deezel? Let's see it.
All right, let me see. What is it I got to do again, Reagan? Share screen?
Yep, go down to
Share
the bottom.
screen. Yeah, at the bottom. Where
Yeah.
it says share screen.
And
Just make sure you don't have anything up that's weird.
Give me just a second.
Yeah. So just
Ooh,
so,
get rid of that.
to do full disclosure here, I started learning how to use Zoom in 2020, and we just started using it on this show last year. So you know, we're all green as grass. All right. I see Don Hopkins looks like the referee for this match. That's
Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah. What are we looking at? Neil Leathers?
Yeah.
Is it Neil Leathers and Brian Danzig, I believe?
Wait, you bastard. This just goes back to what Brian was talking about. Brian always wanted to win the right way, but there was those times.
Jack, Clara, this would be about 97, I would say, 97 or early 98. Just as a point of reference here. And for those of you listening on podcast, we're looking at a classic matchup between Neil Leathers and Brian Danzig. I'm looking around the building. I believe this is Rocky Mount, Virginia. And if it is, holy God.
Matt.
I'm going to be quiet.
Hush, Matt.
I need to tell the radio people what's happening. So Brian Danzig in this match is going up against Neil Leathers, who at this time was the United States champion. This was in early 98, I believe. And maybe January, I think.
Now, always remember, it don't matter. You can always want to win by the rules. But sometimes, you know, this is an old tape, by the way.
It's all right. It's playing pretty good. And everybody that's out there watching that doesn't know what's coming, you're going to witness AIWF history in this match. There's Neil Leathers with the schoolboy. 1-2. Brian gets away. And notice Easy Rider and Iron Horse, the what did we call them as a tag team?
Biker Outlaws.
Biker Outlaws, yeah.
Biker Outlaws. They're on the outside. Don Hopkins, referee. There's Neil Leathers with a reverse DDT. Here comes the Biker Outlaws up on the ring apron to distract the referee. And here, Neil Leathers got his back turned. Here comes Chains, who was a member of the Family of Darkness at one time. And watch and listen to this, if we can hear it.
Chair shot heard
Around the world.
That chair, can you back that up and show that again, Rick Deezel? Just a little bit. Yeah, try to back it up. Just show the chair shot again. I want you to pay careful attention to just the way the chair bends across Neil's head. Because
well, I'm trying.
Yeah, I know that player.
Yeah,
that player's a classic. And but yeah,
Again,
here they come. Yeah, let it roll from here. Here we go. They come up there. Oh, you got it in slow motion now. Awesome. Yes, let it just leave it alone. Yeah, let it roll like this. Okay, so all right, now watch this. Chain's gonna come in the ring, and I want to watch. Oh no, it's speeding up. Watch this chair bend over his head. Watch it. Wait him. Oh,
He almost broke his neck.
yes, he did.
But that's the way it was back then.
That was not a chair that was under the ring. That was a chair from the armory right out of the audience. So there was nothing that had been done to it or anything. That was a full, thick steel chair that smashed over Neil Leather's head. And I think he came to about 2 weeks
Week
after
later?
that. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, if you guys ever hear us talk about the chair shot heard around the world, there it was. And one, two,
And
three,
again-
Brian Danzig, new U.S. champion. So
Right. And again, like I said, I'm all for cheating, breaking the rules.
What?
Hear me out. I had the guys distract the referee. I had somebody else hit the guy in the head
Got it back. Man.
behind
Thank you.
the referee's back. I didn't pay Don Hopkins. I didn't give Don Hopkins some money and say, "Hey, watch this. Don't do anything when this guy comes in and hits my opponent in the head, and do a fast count." I worked the system. I distracted the referee and then got my win.
So basically, we're arguing semantics at this point. You're saying it's
Right,
okay
exactly.
to cheat
And
and
like
not
I
have the
said,
referee in your
And I
pocket.
will, and I'm the first to admit that it's semantics. Some people would look at that and say, your win wasn't valid, and they have a point. And mine is just a different at a different point of than Jack.
I mean,
You ever heard work smarter, not harder? Because you're gonna do it. I gotta trick the system. No, I beat the system, dude. I hired my own. You're dumb ass go around and do this and do that and do that. I don't have to do all that. I can do everything I want to do in front of Dalen. Look at that good-looking man right there counting the camera.
My point
But
for
and
showing
again,
that,
like I said, if you're happy with that, then that's fine. That's the way you want to do it, and it's working for you. So who am I to say that you're doing it the wrong way? I'm just saying that it isn't the way I would do it. And again, maybe I was doing it the wrong way.
well, I think it was awful weird that the video that I pulled out and pulled up fit this show so good.
it
Yeah.
did. It did.
Well, as it covers everybody's points. I mean, back then, yes. Now, and me, I wouldn't have cared. Brian, it happened, but Brian took the win. I mean, and I'm just saying,
yeah.
Brian
I
had
didn't say
help, just like the Fighters Club has help. We all do it. We all do what is necessary at that time to take. There was a title on the line. I understand why Brian done what he done. I understand why Brian took the win, but you also have to look at it this way. Brian was also out of it when they pulled him and put his shoulder across Neil Leathers.
Yeah, well, which I mean, I was a part of the plan. I knew, I was like, if I start getting into trouble, bail me out. But again, it was if I get into trouble. If I don't get in trouble, I'm just going to beat the guy. But you
I
keep it
never
watched
asked
out.
for help unless he absolutely 100% needed.
Right.
And if it
And
the
again,
means
and
fit
again, there
the end. I mean, you know,
right.
the
And
ends
again,
fit the
there are
means.
people, and again, there are people who would say, well, then that invalidates your win. You didn't really win that title. And if that's their opinion, then that's fine. You know, like I said, it's just varying degrees.
There's also a different time, like Reagan said earlier. There's also a different time back then.
Yeah,
And we done things differently back in the 90s than they do now. There was a
Mhm, yeah,
lot
and-
of very lax rules back then too.
Yeah.
Almost, I mean, we had more no disqualification matches then in a month than they do now in a year.
Yeah,
there for a
that's
while
true.
we didn't have rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were even
the
allowed
I
to
think
use
the only-
weapons outside the ring. As long as you were outside the ring, you could use weapons legally, and the
Well, I
referee
think
would not
that's how it
disqualify you.
started. It started about weapons on the outside of the ring, and then we just started using them in the ring. I think the only thing that was illegal was outside interference.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That as long as there was no outside interference, then you could use any weapon that you wanted. It was that it was kind of a hybrid of the ECW style, not bringing it in completely. Whereas ECW, you could have outside interference. You could pretty much do whatever you wanted.
But also, nobody complained back then. We knew what we signed up for when we come into the AIWF, or most people did. There was a few come in for a match. It's like, whoa, never came back.
Yeah.
But we knew back then what it was. When we stepped in that ring, we knew anything could happen.
Mhm.
We knew that body, life, limb, whatever was on the line when we got in the ring back in the 90s and the early 2000s. That's just the way it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I just wanted to make a point too about saying that there are a lot more opportunities now, with the larger independent wrestling promotions and a lot of bigger promotions. However, there's also more competition.
Right.
So with that, you have to work a lot harder to stand out. And then once you do get that shot, you have to shine among all these people who are also getting up at 4 a.m. And it's like they're the people that get there more than likely are working hard too, and you have to outshine those people as well. So just the fact, because there are more opportunities doesn't necessarily make it easier. If anything, you have a lot more, like I said, you have a lot more competition. There's a lot more wrestling schools now.
Yep.
A lot of these guys are training people. So yeah, there's a lot of competition out there now. So
let me point out something to you guys that happens right here. And yeah, I like seeing Dalen get kicked in the face again. I don't know.
That a lot.
Yeah. All right. So watch this. 1, 2. Okay. So they pull referee Timmy out of the ring. Now, Caden Pierre is going to come to the ring here in a second. I just noticed this. I didn't even notice it that night, but I just noticed this when we were viewing this video the last time. And just, all right, here comes Parrish and Kane into the ring. They attack James Anthony. Here comes Clara directing traffic. Jack's one fan and all of Mount Airy standing there at ringside. He's loving this. He knows that title ain't going nowhere now. And
he's wearing Crocs too.
I did it
with the Crocs.
Oh wow, no, I didn't notice that.
That was a croc attack.
Croc attack. First croc attack in wrestling history. Now here comes Caden Pierre. Now watch this. All right, nails Parrish, nails Kane. All right, he's gonna check on his partner in the pink game.
I know what you're getting ready to show.
Yeah, watch this. Watch this. This
You're
is
gonna show the misstep.
I don't know if it's a misstep or he did
I
it
know
on
it.
purpose.
Look, it's hard to tell, ain't it?
Yeah, watch.
And-
Miss Jack. Oh, what? Yeah.
There it is.
What in the world is that? Let's look
Was
at it
that
again.
intentional?
I think it sure looks like it. Look, see,
Yeah,
why would he lift his?
It
Why
could
would he-
be- I mean, he was standing in front of him. However, it was to the side. He could have just seen someone coming toward him and assumed it was somebody attacking him. So
Oh yeah, because James Anthony looked like everybody else in the ring.
Well, yeah, but his right
sometimes when
foot that he was trying to hit Jack with came down, and then he kicked James Anthony with the left foot. I don't know. It looked mighty suspicious to me.
I don't know this though. One thing about Kane Barrett, he's an idiot. He broke my nose before. Okay, it was at the fair shows. It was my first fair shows at AIWF. It was the last match of the fair shows, and he forearms me right in the nose.
Hey man,
Here,
hang on a minute. I'm gonna unmute this thing.
No, Rick Deezel just got a phone call he's happy to get from somebody. That I don't know, that it may be a stupid mistake. I don't know, but it's kind of suspicious. So it certainly has my attention. So, and a special, I forgot to say this. as a special treat for you fans on Thanksgiving, nobody runs wrestling shows anymore on Thanksgiving. Rick Deezel just waved goodbye, and yeah, we're kind of we're over time, but nobody really runs wrestling shows. And I had a couple of these matches in the can that I did not put on YouTube. And since especially Clara's match has done so well on Thanksgiving at 6 p.m., the match between the Sioux Dudes and Paul Perazzi is going to air. The footage I shot at 6 p.m. and 15 minutes after that, the footage that we've been looking at here with JAC and James Anthony is going to air at 6:15 on YouTube. So if you want to go on to our YouTube channel, I don't know if you can see them, if they're visible yet, but anyway, it's a good excuse for you to go over there and ring the bell. And we got a nice little Thanksgiving treat coming for you. So, but that's happening Thanksgiving Day at 6 p.m. And so yeah, that's that. Champs, thank you for joining us. I think we're about done here. Is Brian Danzig, any final thoughts before we go?
While I still don't agree with the Fighters Club's having having a ref in their back pocket, having this sit down conversation, I do see where they're coming from a little bit more. And like I said, while I don't agree with them, I can understand where they're coming from, and know that, like I said, it's just a simple matter of degrees and how far somebody's willing to go. They're simply willing to go further than I was, and who am I to argue with that, seeing how successful they're being at such a young age. So
let's see what the hell you two are doing. Go ahead, Smiling Diamond Dave.
Matt, I appreciate the champions coming on, voicing their opinions about me and about other things, but I got to agree with Brian. You and Brian, Rick Deezel know back in the day that I believe the TVA broke every rule and probably invented something to break. We didn't care, but we never had to have a referee in our back pocket. But like I said, things were different back then than they are now. And once again, my hat's off to Clara and Jax for being as young as they are, putting the time in to make themselves better for the sport that I love, for traveling. Hard work pays off. And I really enjoyed it tonight, guys. Enjoyed the show, and looking forward to next week or the 31st of December.
No, yeah, well, we're going to be back here, and hopefully we'll have start getting some match announcements coming in. Champs, final thoughts before we go tonight.
Yes, we want to plug one thing, if that's okay.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I want you to see something. I'm gonna grab this real quick. See this beautiful looking poster?
Yes. Wow, look
Do
at
you
that.
see that?
Yeah, you guys going to be at WrestleCade.
Yeah, so this week,
yeah.
WrestleCade weekend. So Friday night, they're playing the Impact taping. Saturday night, they're having the WrestleCade of Mayhem show. I will be in the Battle Royal that night. During the day, Fighters Club will have a table. You can come by. I can tell you guys how stupid you are, and it'll be a great time to give me your money, because thank you, because just to tell me and appreciate how great Fighters Club really is. And then on Sunday, Clara's in Ladies Night Out in a gauntlet match. And then also on Sunday, on AML Presents the day after, me and David Parrish are in the Royal Rumble match. So that is something to be very excited about. So, yes.
Yep. Very exciting.
Yep, it's the biggest wrestling event in the Carolinas for like the last 10 years, every Thanksgiving weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And credit where it's due, the Fighters Club, not being in business any longer than they have, got a table at the WrestleCade and Fan Fest itself. So pretty damn impressive. So
yes, very.
Yeah, we don't plug other promotions too much on this show, but that's one worth mentioning. So because it is a pretty big deal. So good luck to Tracy and Brian and everybody that's involved in putting that thing together. We know it's a tremendous amount of work, I would call it a pain in the ass, but that's why I don't do it. They do it because they love it. But kudos to them. So anyway, yes, Clara.
I also want to say December 10th at the Dorton Arena, I am defending this championship against the NWA Women's Champion Camille House. So you guys should come watch up the NWA Women's Champion.
I am in negotiations with my wife to go to that show. I'm going to buy a ticket, sit my ass in the stands. I've never been to a show at Dorton Arena. I would love to be there, especially to support wrestlers that are in wrestle for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic. So
Where's that at? Where's Dorton?
Dorton's in Raleigh at the fairgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah, Crockett used to run there. So it's one of those classic buildings that if you wanted to go take a trip back to the territory days and reminisce, and yes, I do that. I do go to indie wrestling shows just because they're in buildings that I want to see wrestling in. So stop it. So guys, that's about all we've got for this week. Have a great Thanksgiving all. If you have to WrestleCade, be careful going up there. We will try to be back here with you. Hopefully, I don't know, next Sunday night. We'll see if we can't do this all again. So thank you to special guests, AIWF Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion JAC and AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Champion Clara, the second only AIWF Women's Champion, by the way. So do what? Say that again. I'm sorry.
And the best one.
Yeah.
With all Stacey Fox.
No, she sucks. But also, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at JC is the Bad Man. You can follow Clara at Clara Wrestling on Instagram or Twitter. And you can follow David Parrish at whatever the hell his Instagram tag.
David Parrish Pro.
At David Parrish
Yes.
Pro.
Yeah, David Parrish Pro. Mm-hmm.
I gotta plug that little fruit in there too. So there you go.
Yep. And you can follow it. Well, you know where we're at on Instagram, AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling and Deezel 24/7. Anybody else want to give out their social handles before we go? Or are we good?
We're good.
No, we're good.
I
Nobody
just
does-
retweet Sven Gooley, so no.
All right, wrestling fans. So thank you so much for joining us for this week's edition of AIWF Mid-Atlantic. I did it again. Ringside Wrestling. We will be up soon on YouTube as well as where else do we put this show? Oh yeah, podcast platforms. That piece of it, the audio, the audience that yeah, we've got dozens and dozens of listeners, and because of the this high quality program, who can blame them? Stop it. All right, Lord have mercy. I'll get out of here. We gotta go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next week, fans. Same bat time, same bat channel. And until next time, so long for now.
Happy Thanksgiving.